The viral marketing campaign that they had for this movie was so incredible.
The Terrifier 3, a little bit unethical.
Big Hollywood relationships are for PR, but I'm such a believer. Hello and welcome back to the Lucky Boy Agency podcast. Today we are talking about movie marketing. I'm here with my co-host Jake. Welcome back.
Hello. So today we're going to have a look at some viral marketing campaigns, take a deep dive into the genius behind it, and also have a look at some movie marketing fails.
Nice.
Should we get into it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So when it comes to viral movie marketing, is there something that comes to mind for you?
Yeah. Recently there's been a film called The Terrifier 3.
I've heard of it.
And so their marketing campaign was to film reactions of people watching the film. And because it's so gory and so scary that it got such great reactions, they really played into that. But what they did that was a little bit unethical was they went to these target groups and sent them out an invitation and said, would you like to go and see a unrated holiday film? And of course, these people are like, yeah, sure, I'll come along, not suspecting it to be one of the goriest and scariest horror films that's ever been made.
Yeah, because when you hear holiday film, you think of a Christmas movie.
Yeah, correct. But this is not that. It's quite gruesome. It's quite gory. So these people were going in there and the reactions were, as you can imagine, quite dramatic. And they filmed those reactions and they used it to promote the movie.
That's kind of unethical because these people weren't really expecting to witness such horror. But it is kind of clever because it's a really good way to get a lot of attention for your film, especially if you're on a low budget. So, yeah, I don't hate the idea.
Yeah, people caught onto this and they started using it as a TikTok trend. So they were then taking their friends along to premieres and saying, hey, do you want to come and see this new holiday film that's come out? And not really telling them much about it. And then they'd film their reactions when they were in the theater and they'd have a similar type thing, but on your mates. And it all helped with the buzz of the promotion of the movie.
So how did the movie actually perform?
Well, the movie actually ended up doing really well at the box office. For a low budget film, I think it got the highest gross film for that weekend.
Wow.
So it even beat out like movies like The Joker 2, which was premiering at the same weekend. It was good timing. There wasn't a heap of big films. There wasn't any other real horrors, but with all of the viral marketing that it did, it was actually able to beat out and be the best selling for that weekend.
That's incredible. I love talking about low budget movies and how they executed these incredible marketing campaigns, and they didn't spend that much on the movie, but they ended up making so much just because of the creativity of the marketing campaign. I think one of the best examples of this is the Blair Witch Project, which everyone's seen the Blair Witch Project film. It went so viral because at the time when they launched the film with 3 actors who were unknown actors, they actually launched a missing persons campaign for these 3 actors, which lent into the documentary being a found footage documentary. And it led people to believe that these 3 actors, and they were actors, were actually missing. Even on their IMDb profiles, it said missing, presumed dead. So by actually saying that these 3 people were missing and the film was real, it actually gained the reputation of being one of the world's most scariest films, which I think is really, really cool.
So controversially, they kind of lied to the general public, saying that this was found footage from a documentary and the actors are still missing. Yes,
they had the actors lay low and not leave their house, and they even had the close family members of the actors reach out to the public and urge them to come forward with any information.
Wow.
They even had this website, which everybody was on this website. I think it was getting around 160 million views per month, which is crazy for the 90s. And this website had police reports, it had photos, and it had diary entries that were supposedly found in the woods. And it just kind of contributed to the fun of everyone thinking and trying to solve this case that was really just all made up for the movie.
Yeah.
So the Blair Witch Project, they only spent about $500,000 making this film, and they raked in over $250 million, which is just incredible.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest success stories for sure.
When it comes to horror movies, you can be a little bit more creative with the marketing campaigns. One of the examples that I love, which is a little bit more recent, is of that new movie called Smile. Have you seen it?
I have seen the shorts for it. I haven't seen the film.
So it essentially follows the story of a psychologist who, after having a really horrible episode with one of her patients, she sees a lot of people who have that really creepy, eerie smile. The viral marketing campaign that they had for this movie was so incredible. It was really simple. Essentially, they just had paid actors who would go and sit in very, very prominent sports games or things that were being televised just with a really, really creepy smile on their face. And it just had everyone talking and it was all over social media. Yep. It was so simple, but it was so effective.
Yeah, I did see this. These went super viral. Pretty unhinged though, having someone sitting next to you smiling the whole game.
Yeah, and they really committed to it. Like it was hours of them just sitting there smiling.
Yep. That went super viral. Were there like any other marketing activities that campaign did?
Yeah, so they had some really creepy billboards. They had a really great AR filter, which was really big on TikTok. But I think the most standout part from that entire campaign was just placing paid actors in those really prominent TV spots, just with that really creepy smile. Super simple, super effective. I love it. When you're talking about viral marketing campaigns, sometimes it doesn't need to be the biggest or the most extravagant, but just being creative can sometimes really work.
Yeah, super original idea.
Yeah.
Super well associated with the film.
Yeah.
Worked really well. Again, they did pretty good pre-screening reaction marketing. I did see a few of those. I love that.
Must be a bit of a trend.
Yeah, I think it works really well because people can feel the emotion.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, this must be really scary. Like that person's genuinely scared.
And
it's going to be good.
For people that really love scary movies, seeing that stuff excites them.
Yeah, definitely.
Me. Definitely not me.
Speaking about PR and how you can get really good publicity for your film, another tactic that I always see celebrities do, whether it's for a movie or a book or a music tour that's coming up, is they announce big life events. So they always seem to have a new boyfriend or a new life event happening right just before they're about to do something that they need a bit of PR for and a bit of exposure. So a good example of that might be like Ariana Grande is now doing a publicity tour in Australia for her new movie, Wicked.
Yep.
Coinciding with those headlines, she's now got a new boyfriend.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people always think that big Hollywood relationships are for PR, but I'm such a believer.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, but I am such a big believer in that relationship.
Yeah, of course you are because you're the biggest Swiftie ever. And I'm not saying that they're not genuine relationships. I'm just saying that they probably might maybe not get caught seen out in public or keep it behind closed doors right up until the new movie or the tour is about to go on sale. And then they're like, hey, I got a new boyfriend. Or
people always say that these big Hollywood relationships are PR stunts. But I'm such a big believer. One of my favorite clips that was circulated recently was of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce at the concert for The Darkness, was it?
Yeah.
And they're singing a song called I Believe in a Thing Called Love. And what I just absolutely love about this story is that after that clip went viral of Travis and Taylor singing, that song shot to #1 in the charts, and it's still #1 in the rock charts.
Wow.
Because everything she touches just literally turns to gold.
Star power, hey?
Another great example of how a relationship or non-relationship can lead to a pretty big marketing campaign for your movie was Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. There was this massive rumoured relationship, which was the entire basis of their marketing strategy, and it worked really, really well.
So how did that rumour strategy kind of work for them in their favour?
So Glenn Powell came out and said that Sydney Sweeney was the one that was behind that rumour strategy. So it was fueled a lot by social media. If you haven't seen the pickup line ASMR video, go and watch it because wow. And it was also fueled by paparazzi. So it was the stuff they were posting and also just them being together. And also it was fueled by Sydney's flirtatious comments on Glenn Powell's Instagram. So it was very much a rumor that was being fueled, but that was a big part of their marketing campaign, was that the two co-hosts for this rom-com are having a secret relationship, and it was further cemented by Glenn Powell's long-term girlfriend actually unfollowing Sydney Sweeney on Instagram 2 days after filming was completed.
And it's all part of the strategy, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But they did admit to it that it was kind of part of the strategy, and that Sydney was the mastermind behind the whole campaign, and it worked really, really well for them. That's why I went to go and see it.
Yeah, because throughout the whole thing, they were like denying the rumors, right?
Yes, they were. They were denying them while simultaneously fueling them.
So clever.
It is really clever.
What would you say is a standout for the best recent movie marketing?
That's easy. Barbie. Hey, Barbie. God, I loved that movie. I was so, so, so excited to see the Barbie movie. And they did such a great job with their marketing.
Yeah.
Barbie was everywhere, and I ate it up. I think everyone did. I think
it was pink throughout the city here in Australia and over in America. Everything was pink.
They did so many amazing things, like brand collaborations, capitalizing on the nostalgia of Barbie and what that meant for our childhoods. Some of the amazing brand collaborations that I remember were Airbnb. I remember there was one with grills where they had the pink burger. All throughout David Jones and Maya, pretty much every single product in there had a Barbie collaboration, which was amazing. What I think they did really well with the Barbie campaign as well was making it a cinema experience. So they had photo opportunities. They encouraged everyone to dress up in pink so that it was a bit of a to-do, and people were really getting involved and making a day of it and booking it with their friends, rather than just, oh yeah, I'll see it when I see it. I'll watch it when it comes out. It was like, no, we're going to see the Barbie movie together. And that's a really special thing because that was part of our childhood. And I think they did that so well. Also, love Margot Robbie. I think she was perfect.
Yeah. I remember seeing people getting dressed up all around town to go and watch that film.
Yeah, it was really, really special. I cried a lot in that movie because it was...
And the timing of that was pretty impeccable too. Releasing at the same time as the Oppenheimer, creating that weird crossover Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Like that, do you think that was planned, or was that just something that just sort of happened?
I think maybe it was potentially something that kind of happened, but they definitely capitalized on it, making this big distinction between boy movie and girl movie.
Yeah. Like quite literally the ultimate girl movie versus the ultimate boy movie.
Barbie had a really big impact on me and continued to have a big impact on me. And one of the things was because of the soundtrack, the Barbie soundtrack. Too bad Lizzo got cancelled because she was the main artist all throughout. But that didn't stop me from listening to the Barbie soundtrack every single day on my way to Pilates in the morning, because it's such a feel-good, positive message.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point to bring up when a main character or someone associated closely with the film gets cancelled. Do you have any good examples of when a marketing campaign can go wrong?
I think a really great example of that is what happened with Blake Lively when the publicity tour was happening for It Ends With Us. During the publicity tour of It Ends With Us, Blake Lively received so much backlash for different things that she did. She was kind of just labelled as being a little bit offbeat.
Yeah, a bit tone deaf.
A little bit tone deaf. There were a few reasons why. This movie, It Ends With Us, is about domestic violence. It's a very, very serious topic, and she's getting up in these interviews encouraging people to wear their florals and come along and see it, which just comes across as a little bit tone deaf. There were also rumours that she was not on speaking terms with her co-star Justin Baldoni because apparently he was just sick of her shit. She was also getting out there and promoting her hair care brand and her alcohol brand at the time when, and sort of seen to be capitalizing off this movie, which just came across really, really poorly because
it's such a heavy theme.
It is a heavy theme, and fans were kind of just expecting her to, I guess, maybe take it a little bit more seriously. There was also an interview with Blake Lively where the interviewer asked, what could fans do if they want to come to you and tell you what impact the movie had on them? and she made a joke, a very offbeat joke saying, oh, maybe I'll just share my location with them.
What?
And that kind of snowballed when a very, very prominent media personality released an interview from 2016, I want to say.
Oh, I saw this.
And the title of the interview was called the interview that made me want to quit my job. And
this was with the Norwegian journalist?
Yeah. And it was essentially just 2 minutes of Blake Lively being an absolute mean girl.
She was mean.
So what happened was she was being kind of a little bit tone deaf and self-promotional at a time when it was not right to be. And then unfortunately that snowball effect, because of cancel culture, everyone was kind of piling on. Yeah, it wasn't great for the publicity of the film because that's all people were talking about.
Yeah. So it sort of started to appear that she wasn't this bubbly, nice character that she kind of portrayed.
The most important takeaway is that it doesn't matter the budget of your film. You can create viral marketing campaigns for your movie just by being super, super creative. And I think even with these multi-million-dollar movie budgets, if one of the stars is seen to be offbeat or out of touch, then it can have really negative impacts for the movie.
Yeah, but that's all we have time for today. So if you enjoyed watching this today, please remember to like, subscribe, comment,
share.
We really want to grow. We're committed to doing this, so jump on board.
Shout out to my auntie Leanne, who's watched every single episode. Thanks for watching.